It's Braun and Kratz for another Brew Crew territory, and our guest of the week is Corbin Burnes. We'll get a solid 30 minutes with him, and Corbin continues to love being on the show and just saying whatever the fuck he wants and dropping some curses, which is just real Corbin in the clubhouse.
It's just him, and we had a real clubhouse reaction from him. We're going to have a special guest appearance.
Yes, we are.
From Corbin. So that's exciting it should be exciting for this episode.
Yes, Brewers, Padres. So all of a sudden you're talking to Corbin and he's in his backyard and you're like, who's that legend? We'll let you see it or hear it if you're listening to the pod version for yourself. Introducing our combo with Corbin Burnes. Let's get to a playoff contender right now in the Milwaukee Brewers. Corbin Burnes back with us on FT Live. Corbin, good to see you getting some rays right now, dude. How are things at the nice. How are things at the very moment with the ball club now that you've got not one, but two teams involved in this race for the division and a playoff spot, dude? You guys having some fun with it?
Yeah, it's been good. It was kind of a weird road trip that we went on. We swept the White Sox and we got swept by the Dodgers and then swept the Rangers and we just swept the Twins at home. So it was kind of like an all emotions road trip where we played good, then got our asses kicked, and then played good against a first place team. So kind of a weird road trip, but we came back home. We played a good 2-game set against the Twins, and so we feel like we're in a pretty good spot.
Carter taking a nap. Is that why you're outside?
Yeah. Carter's taking a nap, and there's a couple of friends inside that are hanging out, so I got out here so I can talk some shit.
Yeah, because there's no way this is the day that you wanted to be outside. Freaking heat wave coming through. Your catcher's going through 9 different jerseys, and you're like, you know what? I wasn't even trying that hard, so I didn't sweat that bad. Like,
yeah,
is it the real heat now?
Yeah, I mean it's about 100 right now. It was about 101 yesterday, so I don't know why it's so freaking hot. It's supposed to be cooling off. I was told when I came here that the Milwaukee summers were beautiful, and it's been quite the opposite this year. So I don't know what's going on.
Is it like do you remember back in 2018 when they shut the dome and they trapped all the mosquitoes in? Is it that? Is it sweltering hot in there, or is it better than that time?
It's what they did yesterday was actually, I think, a good move. Instead of having it completely open and the sun beating on us all game, they kind of did like a half open, half closed. And so what it did is it put shade over basically most of the field except for left field. So Yelly was pretty happy about that when the game started. But everyone else was in the shade, and then it allowed to have a little bit of breeze come through there. I mean, the breeze was really a hot breeze coming through, but you still had some airflow. So it wasn't too bad in there yesterday. So they did a good job with that.
So can I ask what the protocol is? Why does it have to be open at all? Because aren't some ballparks? Yeah, but some. Oh, for the airflow in there.
I'm thinking airflow.
Is that well? Because Corbin, there's some ballparks, right? Like I've spent a lot of time in Texas, both at the Rangers' new spot and in Houston too. And actually, in Houston, the fans always complain because they're like, they barely ever open the roof. It has to be the most perfect day ever. It has to be like 78.6 degrees and negative 10% chance of rain and all of these things. So, is that an airflow situation there?
Yeah, so I think a lot of those stadiums you're referring to have air conditioning, and we don't. Ours is just for the really cold months. They can pump a little bit of heat in there, so when it's 25 outside, it's at least a nice 45 or 50 inside. But yeah, so when they close that place up in the heat like this, it basically just becomes like a sauna in there, and it's just miserable.
How can you build that stadium and not put air conditioning in it? Because I love going to Houston. It's 120 outside. You walk in the booth and you're like, oh, man, it's so comfortable in here. You go to the new Dallas, the Texas Rangers Stadium, you're like, oh, it's 72. It's so great. Then you go to Milwaukee and you're saying that they have 12 fans blowing on you. Poor Rock and BA and Levering, man, they're sweating to death because you guys have it all closed. They won't even open a window for us. Can we help some broadcasters out?
I don't know why they didn't do air conditioning. That's a good question, but I'm sure when they built that stadium 2000 and 2001, I think is when it opened it. I'm sure it was probably been a lot more expensive to pump the HVAC through there. So Yeah, I'm not going to complain. We never have rainouts. We never have to worry about delays. So that's definitely a plus.
Hey, listen, you didn't play in County Stadium, so you don't know how good you have it, okay? Like if you think American Family Field is bad, trust me, I played in County Stadium. You ain't seen nothing.
No, I'm glad I didn't have to. And that old Rangers ballpark, I heard that place was miserable.
Yeah, you take the field at the old Rangers ballpark, and it'd be 110. It'd be 7:15. You're trotting out there in all your gear, and they had a big thermometer out in center field, right over like shortstop, and you're like, it would say
just
112.
to remind you.
You're saying 112. You're like, man, I'm already sweating to death.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey,
we got
what?
There's our guy.
Look who it is.
Wait, he's on the other team though.
Yeah, we got the
How you
Padres.
doing, man? He can't hear us, can he?
No,
he can't hear. He said, "What's up, though?"
Yo, how's life? No, come on.
give him an AirPod. Give him an AirPod. Tell him to hang out.
We miss him.
And just give a little chatter for the batter.
Say what's up to the boys.
Hey, what up? How y'all doing?
What's up?
What it do? What it do?
What it do? What it do? Just sitting here in hot Milwaukee.
It is hot, dude. Right?
That's toasty. What you guys
Wait.
up to?
Is this the first time he's been back, right, to Milwaukee? So is he? Oh wait, are we having the montage tomorrow before the game?
Ooh,
are we gonna have the montage, some cheers, maybe?
No idea. Hopefully some cheers and some love, but I'm not sure. Where are you guys?
Here's
at?
the problem. I think
Stadium?
that
I think they're in
the
Somerset,
AirPods.
yeah.
I think the mic is only on one side, right?
Is it
Oh,
on
I
the
don't know.
other side?
AJ can hear. AJ can hear.
You can hear him good?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
AJ's
Never
got
mind.
it. Yeah, we
Hold
just
on,
can't hear him as much.
Dude.
But basically, what we think Hader said was they're going to have a montage, and he's going to be crying, and then he's going to bring the baby on the field, and he's going to hold it up like
Simba.
Simba,
Simba, yeah, the Simba
and
can.
he's just going to. And it's just going to be just a magic moment in Milwaukee, and then Hader's going to come back and sign as a free agent next year. That's what I heard. That's what I heard you say, Hader, and tell me nod your head, AJ, if that's what he said.
That's exactly what Hader said he's going to do.
That's
That's exactly what Josh said. He said since Burnes isn't pitching in this series, I'm going to get all the love, and I'm going to be able to take all the attention. And instead of interviewing Brewers, they're going to interview me every time. Sophia, what's her name? Sophia Minert?
Maneri, yep.
Yeah, she's going to come over after the game instead of interviewing like Rowdy or Carlos Santana or Adames. She's just going to talk to Hader every inning and just give him all the love, and they're just going to run a pitch and inning montage just so Hader gets all the attention.
Hey, Burns,
they're going to try.
Hey, since he's here right now, can you please show Hader your hair and make sure Hader knows? Like, he can cut his hair off, too. Like, it doesn't take all his power
he can't
away.
do that.
No.
No, see, he's been
it.
throwing well all season. I sucked ass at the beginning. I tried to cut my hair off. Good change.
Yo, Josh, is he feeding you today? Like, does he have a good spread out there for you at the house?
Yeah, hooking it up, and he put me on some fish. We caught some fish, so
We did. We went out and
Double
ripped some
times.
lips this morning.
What'd you catch?
Bass. That's the
Everything,
typical out here. Yeah, except for Josh. Josh got everything but bass, so he was catching all species today.
What do they got out there?
Just not
It's mostly
gators, I know
bass
that.
And no gators. We didn't come across anything crazy today. Just some bluegill. We actually caught a rock bass, a bass. Saw a bunch of pipe, but never caught any of those. So it got too hot. We got out early, and we got out the lake about 10:30 or 11. It was already about 95 at that point.
Damn.
I'm used to
Hey,
that
by the
San
way,
Diego weather.
Hey, Corbin and Josh, this is like, if you guys watch wrestling, this is like kayfabe right now because you guys are supposed to hate each other. Right? You guys are on opposite teams, right? So this would be like Hulk Hogan and Iron Sheik like hanging out in the bar, we're all fishing, but then we're going to go fight at WrestleMania. Right? I mean,
There's no hate here. We got home and the kids were playing in the living room, running around. It's good. The wives are in there chatting it up, so I'm sure they're talking shit about us out here right now. So it's good. There's nothing but love here.
No, that's not a thing. I went to PFL MMA last night, and the dudes are like, I mean, before and especially even after, like they're hugging, like, yo, great match, all that stuff.
Way to beat my face in.
Yeah, like, I've got your blood all over me.
They make a lot of money to beat each other in.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
You
That
get
is
paid
true.
a lot of money to beat each other's
That is-
faces in,
that-
too.
that is
True.
Just not physically touching the face.
Yeah.
Wait,
Ideally not.
I do have a question. Like, if you guys got to hit against each other, who would have a better chance of getting a hit off the other one?
Not me. I can't hit.
Probably over 10 with 10 punchies apiece.
No. We need
Not
an
even
answer.
contact.
Who gets a hit first?
I say Corb. He's got more at bats than I do.
Yeah, but I ain't hitting any lefty throwing a hunch. So I think we're both in trouble there.
Yeah,
you guys will run out of pitches. You guys will run out of pitch count.
Yeah, they'll hit their pitch
Yeah,
count.
we'll hit our pitch limit. Yeah.
Incredible. Well, Josh, you see it? Last one for you, dude. You see anyone else? Any other boys while you're out here? Get to spend some time with some of the boys. I know you miss a lot of the guys.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to catch up with everybody tomorrow. Since we had an off day today, we're just chilling with the fam. But hopefully see everybody tomorrow and get to talk some ish to them.
Yeah, exactly. Please. Yeah. Well, they miss you here, dude. Great to see you, man. Thanks for swinging by for a sec.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you guys.
Drinking outdoors.
Yeah. Old brother.
Tell him.
Brother.
Burnesy needs like the turquoise glove that Hader uses.
No, I'm not flashy like that.
Yeah, he doesn't. He already got rid of the glasses. Burnesy had his flash. He had the glasses.
Yeah,
I did.
His fatness sweated all over him. Yep. So he got rid of them.
And then I had the hair. I was cool with the hair for a while, but then I started sucking, so I had to get rid of that. So I ain't got much to get rid of left. So maybe the beard's probably next, but that's like, that's desperate.
No, I got a serious question. So this sucked yesterday for the sport. When you saw that Shohei Ohtani has the UCL tear again, everyone's a fan of what he's doing, especially for you guys. You guys don't have to really, you play the Angels, but you don't really have to deal with them. It's not like a big division rival. When did you see that news and what did you think? Because everyone's also trying to figure out, like, what's next for this dude, right? Like, is he going to get surgery, but he can still hit and be one of the best hitters, and he's hitting free agency? Like, can you imagine what's going through his brain right now?
Yes, we saw it after the game yesterday, and that was kind of the immediate question kind of going around the clubhouse. It's like, wait, this guy's a free agent at the year. Like, how is this going to work out? Is he going to get surgery? Is he going to hold off? But then, he's not going to be able to pitch his first year or so in free agency. It's kind of one of those things that's going to, really shake up the baseball world as far as what's going to happen is with every team that was looking at him for a free agent signing this year. So hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it's one of those he can recover with the PRP and go the shorter route and come back quicker. But that's never something that you want to see.
Yeah, dude's great for the game. So that's one injury. The other injury that was unfortunate for your ball club a little bit back was Rowdy's finger issue, and we've had him on now since, and he gave us permission to show the scene of the crime when it first occurred, the picture. And some people on this planet who follow us, our Foul Territory on TV Twitter account, some people apparently have never been the same since they saw the finger image. So did you see the initial picture of how fucked up his finger was?
I did, yeah. So I was out there shagging the day he was doing it. It was the first time Rowdy had touched the outfield grass, and probably the last time he touches the outfield grass. But he went to try to rob a homer, which we should probably leave for the outfielders. Went up and stuck his finger in the wall and ripped it out, and I don't think he realized it right at the moment because he kind of looked down and the blood was just shooting out of his finger, and all of a sudden I've never seen Rowdy run so fast. He ran all the way across the field from center field all the way to the dugout, made it in one sprint, and went in and all we heard was like, oh, he cut up his finger, like he ripped it real bad, they might have to cut it off. And I was like, nice, like we're gonna get another 9-finger bandit. We already got Walker. So I thought he was gonna join the 9-finger club, but they were like, no, it was just the fingernail. They have to cut off the rest of the fingernail. So I was a little disappointed when it wasn't the whole finger. But yeah, and then Rowdy was like, oh, I was getting ready to come back and hit some homers. It's like, probably not. You probably roll over to second base. That's what you typically do. And then now he's finally back and hitting some more ground balls at second base. So it's good.
That description, by the way, was incredible. Like we
Yeah.
need to run that whole thing back about the running back from the outfield. Leave it to
we'll get
anyone else.
StatCast. We'll get StatCast on him running, holding his finger in his jersey.
Yep.
And then Burnesy being like, "Hey Walker, there's going to be another person with 9 fingers."
You got to give some background there.
Walker McKinven, who we just had on,
him on
last week.
I didn't know that part of it.
Well, I'm not going to tell you that the guy had a car accident, like horrific car accident.
Yeah.
Ripped his finger
in
clean
the
off.
ice, freaking smashes into the back of a tractor trailer. Only injury, whoop,
Lost
pinky,
the finger.
lost, gone, pinky
Wow.
gone. So it would have been another finger. I mean, it could have been like a death type of accident, and all he did was lose a finger. And Rowdy runs out to the outfield. I mean, I love your description of it. Like, is there any place, like, Rowdy is now not allowed? Like, they're going to have to put caution tape behind first base, and he can't go there. Is there a place that he's going to say you're not allowed to go? Because you catch pop-ups and everything, and he kind of is pissed about that.
Yeah, well, if he would just get there and catch him, I wouldn't have to. But I gotta pick up his slack sometimes. So, I mean, we'll have to put like a little 10-foot bubble. You can go 10 feet onto the outfield grass. Stay away from the fences. Stay away from netting. Stay away from anything that can cause you to stub a toe. Like, it's just freak accidents with Rowdy.
Even during the games, though, now he can't go on the outfield grass anyway.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So
it actually works out.
The shift rule would not allow that.
Yeah, so you just permanently should not be allowed on the outfield grass before, during, or after ball games.
Was it because he jumped? Was it because he jumped too high, or was it because he didn't jump at all and he was trying to push himself up on the fence, and that's why he tore part of his finger off?
So I don't think he had to jump at all. He was more just like feeling like where the wall was at as he was getting ready to catch it against the wall. So supposedly him and Winker were out there getting some conditioning in, playing a fly ball catch game. And so they were both flying all over the field, the 2 fastest guys in the league just flying across the diamond. And he I guess he was just going back and put his hand up, and there's like a little gap between the yellow of the pad in Cincinnati and the rest of the wall, and his finger got in there, and for whatever reason, when he ripped it out, it just took the top half of his finger.
Corbin, were you there the day I was giving him when I was doing your guys' game? And you were sitting there, weren't you? And I told him us fat people, we don't shag. We don't need to shag. And he hopefully learned his lesson. Like, us fat guys, we don't go in the outfield grass because bad things happen, right?
Yep,
so you had Woody playing Papa Shot. I think Yelly was playing him. Who's the Papa Shot champion in the Brewers clubhouse?
So that's the thing. We don't play the Papa Shot. Like, we got this damn Papa Shot to – well, I take that back. Last year, we did play the Papa Shot, and Suter beat everyone because Suter's crazy and was shooting both hands and would just kill the high scores. And then everyone said, okay, no more Papa Shot. So now it's just turned into taking threes from around the clubhouse and seeing who can make the most threes. So we've gone through about our 3rd Papa Shot now because those things are meant to be shot from 5 feet away, and instead we shoot them from like 40 feet, and we're breaking plexiglass and what's the movie where the guy's like raindrops and he's bouncing off the backboard? Yeah, that's a lot of what's going on in the clubhouse.
Along came Polly.
Along came Polly. Yeah.
Yes. Along came Polly.
Are you the guy from Crocodile Tears? You're goddamn right, I am.
So it's not the same Papa Shot as when I was there. That was back by the clubby's locker room. It's a different one.
No, it's a different. We've gone through about 3 now. They instead of just probably buying the nice one, buy a real high tech one, we like to go through all the cheap ones to see which one's actually the best quality. So we're still looking.
All right. So Rowdy, when he was on, said a autograph hound in Indy asked him to autograph something down in the lobby, and he's like, "Yeah, sure." He goes, "Well, can you come up to my room and autograph?" And Rowdy's like, "What? Have you ever had an interaction like that where you're like, oh no, like I can't do that. That's dangerous, and this is really weird. Why are you asking me this?" Stranger danger.
I've never been asked to go up to a hotel room. That would that's definitely for sure stranger danger. I would definitely stay away from that one. That could lead to some very, very bad things.
What's your weirdest fan interaction, or just something either they've wanted you to sign or just like a comment, right? Like sometimes, especially like it's the kids are like cute usually, just like, oh, you're my favorite player, whatever. But like occasionally, like an adult I've been around even at the ballpark where they're like yelling at the players, not not like yelling at them like, oh, you suck. Like that's basic. Like anything weird that's been said to you from a fan.
I haven't had anything real weird. No, I mean that obviously you get the classic, people calling you the wrong the wrong name. I before my hair was cut, I got called hater all the time, but I was like, that guy's a lot better than me. Like you don't want my signature on that card. But now I get Woodruff and I get Hauser a lot, and I'm maybe one day I'll get recognized of who I am, but still yet to get to that day.
Dare to dream. You're young. You've got time.
Dude, hold on. Hater's a lot better. You got a fucking Cy Young.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? He's better. You got a fucking Cy Young.
Yeah, but AJ's right behind him. He's like 10 feet away inside.
You know what you do? You walk inside and you just go like this. And you just point at the Cy Young and be like, suck on a hater. I got one of them and you don't.
He's got a little Rolaids relief. Well, now it's the Mariano Award. He's got a little like Tums Award. You got a freaking Cy Young.
Isn't it Hoffman and Mo?
Oh, right, because it was in National League.
Yeah.
He's got a few of them though.
Yes, he does. Fair.
Whatever. He doesn't throw as many innings as you. Whatever.
That's true.
Hey,
That's true.
Question. So when Rowdy was on, he told us a little bit about Chafin and how he lives in a trailer and he's like the great outdoorsman and all of that. And he's obviously, Rowdy was in his rehab game, so he didn't really have much yet on Santana and Canna. So when you saw, I think we had you on right before those trades went down. So thoughts on those deals, how it's impacted the ball club on the field, and then if you've got anything good about them since you've met them.
I mean, all three are great guys. I think that was kind of the main goal going into the deadline was, hey, we want someone that helps, but we also don't want guys that are kind of come in and kind of mess up the vibe we had going. And they've all three come in and they fit in great. Carlos and Mark, obviously great vet bats, and take great ABs, work the counts. They both got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they both caught fire. Carlos had a great series in Texas. Mark's been swinging the bat really well. So those guys have kind of been huge for the middle of our lineup and manufacturing runs and putting some good ABs together. And then Chafin, he's a beautiful human. From the first day in, he was the same guy. He was just being himself. Wade knew him back from his days of playing in Arizona, so he told us about like, hey, this guy, he's a redneck, he's country, like he's all about it. And this guy, he's hilarious. He gets the yard and he doesn't change out of his t-shirt and his jeans and his boots until 20 minutes. He's got to go outside. He's sitting there watching videos on his iPad of big excavators and dozers and Tonkin trucks. He's got all this land he's been clearing, and I mean he's a beautiful human. He got his RV the other day, and for 2 nights I think he slept in the parking lot. He's like, yeah, I don't have my campsite ready yet, so I'm just gonna sleep 2 days in the parking lot in the RV and eventually go find my campsite. So I mean he's just a good old country boy, and that was a baseball.
So are you telling me that 2 days? I mean, he didn't go to the bathroom one time in his RV, like where he had to let it out, like he's just sitting in that poo.
I mean, I don't know. They probably just gave him a key card just to go down to the clubhouse and shower and do what he's got to do. But I don't know what year he said he parked it in the parking lot for most of the year. He had some water and some electrical hookups and just had to go dump his sewer every now and then. But I think he said one season he spent most of the year just in the player lot in the RV.
We need to get him on.
He needs to
get him on soon. We're on it.
He needs to be on.
We have a list that's running where an interview pops up and we go, we need to get him on. Okay. I have 2 other things I want to hit. I want to ask about the charity in a sec. Just one other news topic before that literally like is fresh as hell, just came out, and we've all watched him during his prime years. Stephen Strasburg news. He's been out for a while, Corbin. Obviously someone you could competed against a few years back. So do we have the tweet too with the news? Because we're all learning this together here. From Barry Sverluga, who covers the team, and Jesse Doherty too. They've covered the team for years. Strasburg's going to retire. World Series MVP, former number 1 pick, couldn't overcome complications, thoracic outlet syndrome, tentatively planning a September announcement. So just from your perspective, first off, what you saw from him, like the appreciation of when he was on the mound, how damn good his stuff was, and then what it must feel like for a player who is young and definitely accomplished a ton, right? Like individually, and he won his World Series, but to have to call it based on not just being able to stay on the field.
Yeah, that's tough. I obviously had heard that he's gone through a bunch of the complications the last couple of years, but I didn't realize he was that close to being done, but I can imagine like there's you get to a certain point where you rehab and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's time to call it. But yeah, I mean, the years, and was it 17, 18, 19, like he was just unbelievable, and the World Series run he had, and what he did for that team really to win a World Series. That was a national team that didn't really have a bullpen, so those guys were starting and going to the pen and doing both. And yeah, I mean, obviously his career was probably shortened and a lot shorter than it should have been, and he was a guy that had great stuff on the mound. And I remember playing against San Diego State in college, and his face being all over that, the banners there and the wall and that whole campus, like what he did at San Diego State, and then he carried it over into pro ball and to do it in DC. I mean, the guy was unbelievable, had great stuff, and it's unfortunate that his career was cut that short.
And that's interesting. You saw San Diego State that time period too, because I mean, I'm sure you remember the hype around him was insane. And then he comes up to the show, and you're seeing it, right? Like, injuries aside, just the talent converting, right? It's not like a dude that we're watching and it was like, you know what, stuff doesn't play. I mean, really, right now the comp would be just this past season to Paul Skeens, where he comes up, and now, like, we're probably going to see him in the bigs next year. And it's like everyone's already been talking about you. Like, college baseball doesn't get as much love as college football and college basketball, but like everyone, yes.
Yeah,
I agree. Trust me, I'm hosting a baseball show every day.
This is what we're doing.
But there's not many baseball fans that can list like the top 10 college pitchers right now, but like everyone knows Skeens, everyone knew Strass, like he had all of that at him in San Diego State, especially the platform year before he got drafted, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think so. My coach in college was, I think, there at San Diego State when Strasburg was there, and he's a just unbelievable human, but just dominated college baseball and got to the big leagues and had years where he just dominated the big leagues. So the hype was definitely there, and like I said, it's unfortunate that he didn't get to live out the second half of his career.
Yeah, he ain't got no Cy though. Tell him. He ain't got no Cy Young.
Tell him, Mercy.
Yeah.
Tell him.
He's got a chip though, so that's next.
He does.
Right.
He does.
Does he? Oh no! Before I don't know the answer to this. Does he get paid? If he retires, they had to do a buyout or something, right? Because he ain't. Otherwise, I'd be like, I ain't really retiring here. I want my money.
My guess is it's probably like the medical retirement that Fielder had to do years ago. My guess is it's probably something similar to that.
Yep, I remember. That's true. So, and I'm sure we'll get more details on it coming out. But
still paying him till 26. I mean,
who?
Yep.
Strasburg.
Oh yeah. He's still got years to go, and the deferrals and
the
because the Nats always do that. So there's still a lot of time left. All right. Lastly, Corbin, you had a big charity event yesterday. Also, didn't you? You got to give me more context on this. Your wife created a certain type of
wine bottle.
Wine? It was wine. I knew it was
the wine label.
Alcohol, wine. Okay, wine label.
Yep.
So what do you got? How was it?
It was awesome. Yeah. So the event was last night. I think we had close to 150 people show up, which was great. We partnered with Uncork for a Cause, who does a couple of these events a year with guys around the league, and Blake did a great job of setting everything up and planning it all out. And we partnered with them. And our charity was Ronald McDonald House Charities of Eastern Wisconsin. So I've worked with them for the last 6 years now, kind of growing each year of what we did. And this year was kind of like taking it to the next level with this full event. And we raised a ton of money last night. We had a great showing. It was great. Everyone was very thankful to be there. I'm thankful for everyone that came. We had a bunch of good good silent auction, live auction items. So it was a great event, and hopefully we can continue to do this every year for them.
Don't be afraid to send a bottle here or there.
Hell yeah.
Like
I got
can we
about
buy
6
it?
cases, so we'll figure it out.
Okay,
let's go.
All right, we'll figure it out. Maybe I'll have to make it.
Yep.
We'll drink it on the show because not many shows can do that.
If it would help the charity.
Yeah, for real. Can we set that up? I'll buy a bottle and we'll all have it on the show.
We'll figure it out.
Let's go.
We'll figure it out.
Don't worry, AJ. I'll buy the bottle. I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
Hey, Corbin, if you ever write a book too, Scott will buy it so I can read it. Give him the book report.
I buy books and alcohol. That's what I'm good for.
Corbin, hold on, Corbin. Do you have this book yet?
Which one's that?
It's Eric
about
Kratz's book.
I'll trade you.
No, I don't. I'll have to read that one. Is it any good?
I don't know. I haven't read it yet. It doesn't have any pictures in it.
I signed a audio copy for AJ, but I'll trade you one of your bottles for one of my books.
All right, we'll do it.
Deal. That's a fair deal. Hey, dude, great catching up with you. Appreciate it. Go kick haters' ass, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. All right.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Cheers, man. Great to see
Later.
you. Corbin Burnes from the Milwaukee Brewers with us. And yes, if you're just joining the party here and we're towards the end of it, we are at a ballpark, at a minor league ballpark here in Somerset. Does anyone have shades?
Shades.
You really have
shades. When
you
you're
brought
at
them?
a field,
You bring them on the road.
You never know if you're going to need to
you know
catch
me.
a pop-up.
I'm a traveling circus
You are
right
a
now.
traveling man.
Yeah, the amount of times I get asked of like, where is this? Where is that? I lose everything right now. Wow, look at you, AJ. Little Shady Rays action for everyone. Premium polarized shades. You do not have to break the bank for these. AJ, now I see that you have two of the same kind, and I go, great.
They're yours.
Those are mine.
And there's definitely fingerprints all over them.
These are Scott's.
That's not part of the lost and broken.
Ruining
These
them
are Scott's.
with your.
Oh,
Can you say cooties? Is that still?
Cooties? No, I was going to say with his banana hands.
That was what the kids said in school, right? Oh,
Cooties.
but anyway, hey, for their best deal of the season, hit up shadyrays.com right now for our FT fam, and you get 50% off 2+ premium polarized sunglasses. You can look as good as Eric Kratz anytime there. You got to use the code, though, FOUL, FOUL. And yes, we will put them to good use because we're actually this is the most outside, right, that we've been for a show. We've been on the road a lot, but we've got
besides when my electric went off
here. Besides when your electric went off,
this is the most vitamin D we've got.
Yes, exactly. So we are looking forward to soaking up the Rays a little bit later on. Thanks to Corbin Burnes for joining us. Also, if you're watching the show on YouTube right now, yes, we're at Borgata. We just had our Foul Territory show as well. And you're like, wait, why is he wearing the green Cell shirt? Don't worry, I'm not calling for the Brewers to sell. They're fine. Mark Attanasio, you're doing a good job. Stay hot. This Brewers team is good. This is for John Fisher and the Oakland A's. They're assholes. If you want to see more about it, you can check out our clips about the Oakland A's moving to Vegas. Anyway, something that the Brewers do well always is pitching and run prevention. The question that we bring up almost every week is the offense. Where are you on a heat check with the bats?
It is trending in the right direction. Obviously, fans, I'm a fan of the team.
Mm-hmm.
You're a fan of baseball.
Did you play for them?
Want to see? I did play a couple games. You want to see your team go from scoring 3.5 runs a game to averaging 9 runs a game. We have guys up here. These should be big league hitters. Why is this lineup this way, that way? This team is really starting to turn into a juggernaut of a team. And I just only point to one thing. They are not striking out as much. Still more, but not striking out as much. And you can see the influence of guys like Carlos Santana, Mark Canha, who are coming in and they're putting together good at-bats. Are they hitting 400? Are they going to win MVP votes? No. But they were inserted into this lineup to do what they do, take pitches, grind out at-bats, show the team what other guys have. And it's really become infectious to some of these younger guys. It's taking some of the heat off of Yelly. Yelly was that walking guy. He was a guy that was getting on base, or maybe they just weren't pitching to him, one of the two. But you're going to slowly see everybody's numbers ticking up. And when you have a team that's trending in this direction, as I show the camera just a little bit, that's where you want to go, especially with this starting rotation getting healthy.
Yep. And Corbin mentioned how they wanted to make sure that they acquired players who were not going to mess with the vibes in the clubhouse, which was important. And they did that. So they do their homework. Some teams don't, but they did their homework on the personalities. And I love what you're saying. Like, even if the hits aren't dropping for a bit of time, Carlos Santana and Mark Canha are two of the more professional ABs. Santana for a long time. Canha also takes the hit by pitches like a champ. But those two dudes know how to get on base even during the tough times. I like that call. It's a professional AB. Santana's latched on with certain teams where that's literally been their thing. They're like, even if if he's talking to them, great. But even just them watching his ABs every day,
it's more infectious than you would think. And even to like hit on the fact that you said run prevention through defense and positioning and pitching, obviously, is the main part of that. They somehow were able to upgrade in like a sense of like getting on base with the hitters without downgrading their defense. They actually upgraded a little bit. I mean, it's minute, but they upgraded a little bit at both positions when they have Canna out there and they can push Yelly around at different spots.
That's a good point. GM Matt Arnold did say when they were working around the trade deadline that he wanted to be careful about not messing with the defense of a ball club, because sometimes you'll make a move, you'll make an ad, you'll say we need offense, but it crushes your D, and you know that to be a winning team, especially in the playoffs, the defense is amplified. So I like it, all right? We're in a good spot right now in terms of our thoughts on where the Brewers are at. So we do this every single week, Brew Crew Territory on YouTube or wherever you get your pods. Thanks to Corbin Burnes for joining us this week. We get all the big boys. We've had Woodruff and Yelich and go down the line. Rowdy is ridiculous. We'll see you next time on Brew Crew Territory.